Alright, Chris, you keep doing videos with all of these razors that are for beginners. And I appreciate that because I am brand new to traditional wet shaving. But what happens when I outgrow those beginner razors? Do I have to go out and spend an arm and a leg on a brand new razor? If you don't want to do that, and heck, you don't even want a beginner razor, but you do want a razor that is great when you first start, and that razor can grow with you as you get better at traditional wet shaving, well, my friend, let's talk a little bit about adjustable razors. This right here is the Rockwell 6S. Now this is an adjustable razor, and the way you adjust this is by the plate. Rockwell is well known for their adjustable razors because their razors are some of the best in the market. And before I go any further, you're really getting what I'm saying, and you really want a Rockwell for yourself, click the link below, pick up a Rockwell, and save 10% on your first order. You can also use ShaveAndChat at checkout. Once again, save yourself 10% on that first order. All right, let's talk about the razor a little bit. So like I said, this is an adjustable razor and you adjust it by the plate. On the first plate, you have R1 and R3, which I guess you could say would be level 1, which would be the most mild, or level 3, which is in the middle because there are 6 different efficiency levels to this razor. On plate 2, you have R2 and R4. And on the third plate, you have R5 and R6. So essentially, the Rockwell 6S or 6C, which is the exact same razor, the 6S is stainless steel and the 6C is chrome. This is a razor that you can buy once. You have so many different levels of efficiency that you'll never need another razor again. So if you are brand new to traditional wet shaving and you want that one-stop shop, highly recommend the Rockwell 6S. That's enough talking. Let's actually use this thing, shall we? For my soap, I'm going to be using an Artisan that I haven't used yet on this channel. I'll be going in with MMGP, and I'll be using Morning at the Barber. Now this is a beautiful barber scent. With its bergamot, lavender, and sandalwood, this scent is fantastic. And to lather up this, I'm going to be using my newly added TRC, aka the Razor Company, brush. This thing is gorgeous. Now, once the Rockwell 6S has taken down multiple days worth of growth, I'll go ahead and end off the entire shave. MMGP, Morning at the Barber, Aftershave Splash. And I'll go ahead with the PAA Cube 2.0. And now I'll go ahead and toss in a Persona Gem. Now because I have multiple days worth of growth, I'm going to go ahead and start with plate R6. When loading the Rockwell 6S or 6C, the tabs of the blade do overhang just ever so much. So be mindful when you're loading it. And now to know which level of efficiency that you're going to be using, you want to make sure the number is at the bottom of the plate. But here's the bottom of the plate, so I'll be using level 6R. And as I mentioned, the tabs stick out just ever so lightly. All right, so the Rockwell 6S is loaded. Let's go ahead and get some lather on the face. All right, so it looks like I've done things a little bit backwards for this shave. Typically, I load my brush, paint on the soap first, then load my razor, but I'm kind of excited to use this razor because I feel like it's been a while since I've used it. So we're doing things just a little bit backwards. But the brush is now nicely loaded. Let's go ahead and build that lather. I'm still just gonna paint this on, and when I come back, the soap will have been on my face for a little bit, and I'll go ahead and build up a nice lather. All right, I'm just gonna take a moment to let the soap soften the hairs, get ready to be cut. Hold tight. So now that I've gone ahead and I painted the soap on, I'll go ahead and explain the razor a little bit to you. So when you wanna change the efficiency of your razor, you're gonna wanna swap out the plates. What I recommend doing, especially if you are brand new to traditional wet shaving, I would start off on a lower plate, maybe even a 1, until you really understand the angle and the technique, and how to use this razor, and work your way up. As you become more comfortable, start using the higher plates. This razor will give you a ton of different options, and it could be your one-stop shop. All right, so the soap has been on my face for a little bit, so now I'm gonna go ahead and really build up this lather. So what I'm I'm doing here is I'm splaying the brush, which means I'm pressing it right up against my face so that the hairs of the brush splay out. Now the purpose of this is to help raise my hair so that they can be cut, and it also helps build up my lather. When it comes to lathering, you can lather for as long or as little as you like. I don't show my full lather on video because I don't think you guys want to watch an hour-long video. Normally it takes me a good maybe 10 minutes or so to get a nice lather. And this soap right now is giving me a fantastic lather. As well, when it comes to lathering, if you find the soap looks really pasty, I recommend adding a little bit of water. Now there's a few ways that you could do this. You could use a mister, or you just take the tips of the brush, dip it into your sink of water, and get right back to lathering. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip just the tips of the brush in and continue my lather. So the lather is looking really good to me. Let's go ahead and start with the shave. Here we go with the Rockwell 6S using plate 6, and I'm going to be going with the grain, which means I'm going to be shaving with the direction that my hair grows. So on my cheeks, my hair grows downwards. Alright, and there you have it. First pass is done. This blade and razor combination was actually recommended by one of you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. This is a great combo. What I'm going to do for demonstration purposes is I'm actually going to drop the razor down just to kind of give you an idea of how to switch out the plates and going from a high aggression down to a low one. So here we go. So when switching the plate of the Rockwell 6S, I like to grab the razor like this. It does have a blade in here. So as you can see, I'm holding the sides of the razor. Twist the handle. And now what I like to do is just drop that bottom plate in my hand like this. And as you can see, the razor is still in place. So I'm going to switch my razor from the R6 to the R3. Now, as I mentioned, you want to make sure the number is facing downwards. And that's how you'll know which plate number you're using. Now, because I'm using R3, I flip the plate around so that I can see R1. And now I'm going to attach R1 to the top plate like that. And now R3 is showing, and that's what I'll be using. So there you have it. Now the Rockwell 6S is using level 3R. And I'm going in for my second pass. Here we go. This soap is quite nice. I know this is only my second pass, but I am thoroughly impressed with this lather right now. And I've really been focusing on my lathers lately, trying to get my lathers to the point where they look and feel the same throughout my entire shave. So the lather that I have for my first pass will be the same lather that I have for my last pass. All right, here we go for my second pass with the Rockwell 6S on level 3, and I'll be going across the grain. And now going across the grain means I'll be shaving across my face. All right, and there you have it. Second pass done just like that. Let's go ahead and get on with that third and final pass. So as I just mentioned earlier, I'm trying to get my lathers to the point where they look and feel exactly the same throughout all of my passes. And I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but right now I'm getting exactly what I'm wanting. And there's still a ton of soap left for me to do another 10 passes if I want. Watch. Look at this. I'm not sure you guys can really tell how much is on there, but in person, there's a heck of a lot. Now I was going to keep this razor at level 3 because during that second pass it felt fantastic. I want to do my best to demonstrate what this razor can really do. So I'm actually going to take it from the 3 and I'm going to drop it all the way down to 1. So once again, take the handle off. I just like to drop the bottom plate onto my hand. And the beautiful thing about this plate in particular is when I flip it over, there's number 1. So let's go ahead and load it up. But when you're tightening your razor, you don't have to go super tight. You just want to make sure it's nice and snug. So the Rockwell 6S is loaded and ready to finish off this shave. And there you have it. Third pass is done. Now I have to say, plate 1 is extremely mild. Very little to no blade feel whatsoever, but it was still a great learning experience for myself. I don't think I've ever used plate 1, and if I have, I don't remember doing it. So now what I'm gonna do is go ahead, wash off the rest of the soap, finish off the rest of the shave. Oh yeah, this was a fantastic shave. Zero stinging or anything. So while I have the alum on my face, I'm gonna go ahead, clean up my gear and clean up my area, and get everything ready for my next shave. Hold tight. All right, so my beautiful TRC brush is all cleaned up and ready for its next use. And I went ahead and washed up all 3 plates, the top cap and handle to the Rockwell 6S, so it is all cleaned up and ready for its next use. So I went ahead and cleaned up the rest of my area. And while I was doing that, although I didn't feel any stinging or anything when I put the alum on my face, I could still feel the alum working its magic and doing its thing, maybe tightening my skin a little bit. So now what I'm gonna do is wash off the alum. I do recommend washing it off, and I'm gonna wash it off with cold water. Once again, I recommend washing it off with some cold water. Once it's washed off, I'll go ahead and put on some Thayers. First, I'll apply the clear Thayers, and then with something new that I've been doing lately, I'm gonna add the hydrating Milky toner. But first, I'm gonna splash on MMGP Morning at the Barber's Aftershave Splash. So what I like to do is put the alcohol-based splash on my face first, although this doesn't have very much burning to it, so I'm not really sure how much alcohol is in here. Regardless, this feels fantastic. And if it did have a lot of alcohol, I like to put the splash on first to get the full effect of the alcohol and the scent. And now what I'll do is add the Thayers Hydrating Milky Toner to the splash and take it from the alcohol-based splash and turn it into a bit of skin food. That combination, if you haven't tried it yet, you gotta do it. It's amazing. So if you use a splash that has a lot of alcohol in it, or some, and you happen to have the Thayers Milky Toner, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Pick up some MMGP as soon as you possibly can. All right, and there you have it. Now I hope I was able to answer your question from the very beginning of the video. If you want one razor that can carry you from the day you start until the day you are unable to shave anymore, you gotta grab a Rockwell 6S or 6C. What I'm gonna do in my next video is introduce another adjustable razor. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when that video drops. On that note, you make it a great shave, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.